Okay, so sometimes when you get paid allowances, like a tool allowance or an industry allowance or an allowance for a license you might have, these are calculated every week automatically and you're paid for those. For some allowances, such as travel allowances or meal allowances, you're not entitled to these every week. For example, you might not need a meal allowance some weeks or some days, and these are the allowances that you'll have to add onto your timesheet manually by yourself. So how to add these is obviously log on to your timesheet. So log on to the portal, click on the timesheet button, and you'll be taken to the timesheet website. Click on your most recent timesheet, let it load. So you can see there are no hours worked here, but that doesn't matter. You'll put your hours in as normal. And then down the bottom here, you'll see that there are a couple of different buttons that you might not have noticed. So you'll see T sheet for timesheet, allow for allowances. You have a note section and attach for attachments. So for the allowances, you're going to go to allow. And then you'll see that you can add allowances for each day. So you might not need an allowance every day. So you might, for example, only need a travel allowance on a Monday. So you've got to click into every day that you need an allowance manually. So whatever allowances are applicable to your award and your role will show up here. So for somebody, for example, who's working doing business admin in an office, you might not have any of these allowances because you might not be entitled to them, or they might not be applicable to you. Or you might have some allowances, but they might not be these ones. We've programmed your payroll to have the relevant allowances pop up for you, so that it's not confusing with a bunch of allowances that you might not be entitled to. So if you are confused or have questions about what allowances that you are entitled to, contact your field officer and they'll explain that to you. This video is not to teach you what allowances you do and don't get. It's just to show you how to add them. So let's just say on Monday I travelled 57 kilometres in my own car, so that's that, and I might need a meal allowance because I'm entitled to that. That is just your allowances done for Monday. So it says hours here, ignore that, it's just counting the quantity. So I've done 57 kilometres, 1 fare allowance and 1 meal allowance, which gives me 59. You won't be paid for 59 hours. You'll be paid 57 of the kilometre allowance, 1 of the fare allowance and 1 of the meal allowance, whatever that amount may be. If you have done allowances every day, you'll need to add them manually into each day. But in this example, I've only needed the allowances on Monday because Monday was a big day, and that's pretty much all. You go back to your timesheet, you'll put in your hours, do what else you need to do, and you'll submit your timesheet as per usual. Your employers can see what allowances you've put on your timesheet, so they will need to approve those as well. But yeah, if you have any questions, talk to your field officers, but you will need to add these allowances to your timesheets by yourself. We can't add these for you. The ones that you're entitled to every week, we do automatically for you, but these ones are ones that you might not get every week. You might get sometimes. They're your responsibility to put on your timesheet. So contact your field officer if you have any questions, but that's how to add the allowances onto your timesheets.